Hello and welcome. We're going to build this app where we can enter a loan amount, say 100,000, interest rate 8%, and term of 30 years, and it will calculate what the monthly loan payment would be. We can go ahead and change it and look at various alternatives. Now, for the series, which is more than one part, we'll begin by creating the background in the first part. And that background looks like this. We'll create the app bar, the text, the body, and also the icon. And then after that, we'll begin to populate it with the fields and then look at the calculations. So let's get right into it. We begin by running Visual Studio Code, which we've covered in an earlier video, and then run Simulator, so we have them both up and ready to go. And then we'll go up and open a Flutter new project. And then select Application. Select the folder, the development folder. And then we'll type in a name. And here we'll go with Loan Payment Calculator. And Flutter creates the app. Let's run it just to see what it looks like. This is the default app that comes up. We'll close the inspector. Let's click that button and we see the numbers increase. Let's stop that. And then let's go and delete everything below the main section. And now that's all we have. So we begin from scratch here. First, we'll add a Flutter Stateless widget. Now we've got to match those names with what's being called. So my app up there. So we can either rename my widget to my app or rename my app to my widget. We'll go ahead and make it my app across. Let's also change placeholder to material app. We can see under Material App, we've got Scaffold, AppBar, etc. We'll go ahead and set up the scaffold. So let's go Home, Scaffold, and that opens up some parens. And so we've gone ahead and set the scaffold. And now we're going to set the scaffold background. So under Scaffold, we'll see Background as an option. So we'll choose Background Color. And we'll select Colors, Green. We'll give it a number of 300, something we've covered in an earlier video. Now let's add the app bar. And the app bar is another widget under Scaffold. So we'll select the app bar inside the parens. We'll go ahead and add app bar text. And for that, we use the title option, and it's a constant. So we'll go ahead and enter constant, and then the text. And that's payment calculator. And now let's add the app bar background color. We want this to be a slightly different shade so we can see it. We'll select a green 400. Next, let's add an icon. And for that, we need to select Actions. And then again, it's a constant because the icon's not changing. Let's add some padding to the actions. And our paddings are going to be from the right edge. So we select edge insets only, right 45.0, and that should move it 45 pixels away from the right boundary. And now that we've set the location, let's go ahead and add a child icon. And there's a selection of icons available, and it would be helpful to get familiar with those icons. We are going to use the account balance icon, which is a little structure that looks like a bank or a government building. Next, we need to give the icon a color. And then we need to size the icon. So let's go for a 30 on the icon size, and we'll look at it and see whether we need to change that. And that closes out icon. Let's run and see what's happening. There's some errors here. It shows that, the colors is CO, not C0. Let's fix that. That removes an error down to 4. Undefined padding, we'll look at that and say, all right, I think there's a color issue there too, the typo of COLOR on the background color. So let's fix that O. That removes more errors. And there's something on line 25. That seems to have cleared that. Looks like there was one too many paddings. So we need to remove that, and there we are, padding edge. We're down to 3 exceptions. There's something on line 25. Let's select that padding with the parens. Let's copy that and insert that inside the parens. Let's type that in again. Edge insets only, we select that, and we'll give it a 45.0, and that seems to have resolved one of the issues. The next issue is on line 29. It's saying there's something wrong with the color statement. I see it. Colors, comma, green instead of colors, period, green. So we've got to go and fix that. Now there are no more problems, so let's run and debug. And here it is. We have the payment calculator with the app bar with a different shade, but the icon is a very light shade. So let's go back and see if we can change the icon color to make it stand out just a little bit more. Scroll down to icon, and we have colors green. Let's click on that, and we see the full panel. We'll pick a dark color right here from the screen, and it shows the data in RGB format. And let's flash run it again. Look at that color. That icon is now a nicer dark shade of green. So now we're ready to go to the next stage, where we'll add the text boxes to gather the data and then calculate and display the result. We'll cover that in an upcoming part or two. Keep in mind that this is a learning exercise, and so there are a number of mistakes I've made that might help you see where you might make mistakes. Now, before we exit this, let's go ahead and type in the call to the routine that will display the fields and do the calculation, and that's the calculator body. So we need to go ahead and add the calculator body and move forward. And we'll provide the space holder here, and we'll come back and do that in the next stage. Thanks so much for watching.